The pandemic situation we are facing today, in today's date, we all are in the same boat. No matter where we are, no matter which country we belong to, no matter what age we all are in the same boat. And we are here today to talk about the same situation from different people, people who we know on a daily basis, people who they're living in our neighborhood, people who we talk to on a daily basis in the real time. Welcome to Atlanta दुनिया पॉडकास्ट परिक्रमा। मैं आपकी होस्ट श्वेता दुबे आपका फिर से स्वागत करती हूँ। ये जो एक भयानक सच्चाई बनकर आज हमारे सामने खड़ी है, चलिए आज हम उसी पर चर्चा करते हैं with people around us. So we, as a guest today, we have Neeta ji, and we have Geetanjali ji, and we have Vandana ji. They are mothers, they are workers, they are professionals, they have a different professions, they have spouses to deal with, they also have kitchens, they have household chores. So let's talk and listen to them, what they have to say, what they have to share. So Neeta ji, please go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners.
Sure. My name is Neeta. I am a healthcare professional. So I am at the front line of this pandemic. I am married, so I have a husband and 2 children, ranging from the age of 13 and 8.
Very nice, Neeta ji. First of all, salute to all the frontline people who they are there to serve us, in this situation. कहते हैं कि जब भगवान भी अपने दरवाजे बंद कर चुके हैं आज की तारीख में, frontline workers are the one who their doors are open for us. So salute to you, what you do, and to your team. Next, our participant is Geetanjali ji. Geetanjali ji, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yeah, hi Shweta. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And my name is Geetanjali Das. I have been living in Atlanta since 2007. By profession, I'm a doctorate in physics, and I run my own math and science academy in Atlanta, where I teach middle and high school students. I'm also married, and I have 2 children. One is a 20-year-old and one is a 15-year-old. Yeah. I'd like to salute Neeta ji for all the hard work she and all other healthcare professionals have been putting in. Thank you.
100% agree with you, Geetanjali ji. Vandana ji, please go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yeah, thanks, Shweta. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast. Namaste, everyone. My name is Vandana Bharadwaj, and I work in the field of marketing in Alpharetta. I have 3 kids. One is in college, and twins that are in high school. Of course, everyone is at home, and we are experiencing something new right now, and thankful for all the people who are helping to keep us safe.
That's right, Vandana ji. This is the situation we never planned, but we are here now in same boat. We all are together in this situation. Now, I hear that we all have kids, we all have spouses, we all have a work, we all have a house. Let's talk a little bit about the dynamic in the house right now. Who is in charge now? Who is taking the lead role, husband or wife? Vandana ji, that was your question.
Okay, sure. I think actually at our home, I don't think either one is taking a lead. I think we're sort of taking turns, honestly. So, of course, me and my husband both are working from home. And since we have older kids, we're not really constantly having to take care of them. It's just, making sure there's food and that, we're spending some time with them. So in terms of housework, really it's about who has time to make breakfast and who has some time to, load the dishes and, maybe take the dog out for a walk. So I think it's teamwork. I think even the kids, all pitch in, and it doesn't work if everyone isn't working as a team.
Very nicely said. Geetanjali ji, aap bataiye ki, how married couples have to redefine their roles in this situation, or the responsibility in the household chores, or, we understand the stress level, but how do we redefine all these roles that we do on a daily basis?
Yeah, I do think that this is the time where many of these roles would be being redefined, especially in Indian households where, traditionally it's the woman who takes care of the kitchen, even though most of us are working, women. But, to my surprise, the difference that I note now is it's a completely collective effort. And my husband, who would normally not probably be, in the kitchen all the time helping, he does his bit and way more than what I would expect, and so are the children. So it's good to see that, as a family, we are all taking up whatever chore we could do, and we're not really sticking to, any one particular responsibility. Everybody does their bit, and that's how it's going on. And I think, we probably have experienced this for the first time that I can remember, and it's a very different experience, but a good one.
That's right. I think the family is coming together and we all understand each other. Emotionally, we are helping each other and supporting each other. What do you think about, Gitanjali, what do you think about the time reflect on personal or spiritual benefits? Like, how I hear a lot of people are doing family meditation, they're doing family walks, they're doing, more family time. So how do you think how it reflecting the personal and spiritual benefits?
Yeah, I definitely have personally, had actually more time to reflect on many things which, I would not normally think about. The fact that we take so many things for granted in life, which we should not. And, how we can actually do with very simple things in life. And, a lot of the material things which we seek for are not at all important. And in fact, at this point, I'm going back to my roots and, strong beliefs which I probably had as a child, and which I, when we get busy with work, we really don't spend too much time on. But that leads to spiritualism where, you just leave everything that you are facing in the hands of God, and you feel that, everything has a reason, and because we have these beliefs and faith, we know we will be out of this situation soon. And I have seen that my children have the same faith, and that keeps them cheerful and optimistic.
Very good. It's good to hear that, we are having this conversation and hearing it from real people in real time. Neetaji, do you face patients face-to-face, one-on-one? How do you see them in a panic mode? How do you deal with that?
Well, I do see patients face-to-face. I am actually, by profession, a respiratory therapist, so I'm one of the first ones that go into the rooms to see the patients. Some of them are coming in a panic state. Some of them are not. Talking to them, just talking about what their faiths are sometimes helps the patients calm down. And it's not so much of a panic. The ones that are coming in bad shape, in bad respiratory distress, those are the ones that really there's not a whole lot of conversation there. It's just a matter of helping them and helping them through, this part of their life. But some of the ones that are not as bad, some of them that we're sending home, we try to just educate and talk to them and making sure that they realize that they need to be more vigilant about staying at home and helping contain this versus them not taking it as serious because they're not as bad as some of the other patients that are coming in. So there's not a whole lot of talk because the ones that I'm dealing with are the ones that are more severe cases. The ones that are not as severe, we are limiting the staff that come in contact with the patients just to contain even the exposure within the hospital. So the patients that I see are more severe, so there's not a whole lot of conversation that occurs because by the time that if I'm in the situation where I have to deal with the patient, it's more where they're actually very severe cases. So there's not a whole lot of dialect there.
Mm-hmm. But, I see. I understand. So this is your work situation, and now how there are some of the things that are helping you at home as a mom, as a wife, as a household person. How do you keep your stress and anxiety down, yourself and your families as well?
Well, I think it's really important. The family time that we're actually been given, I think on a day-to-day basis with having work and social life and everything like that, I think we forget to have that, make that family time. And even if we do, it's very shortened, Now that we're being given that time to spend more time with our family, I think it is important. And I think it's almost like nature's way of saying, reminding us what's important in life, Right now, we try to just spend more time, like, doing what the kids want. They enjoy
cooking, cleaning, and doing the chores around the house.
Yeah. I mean, and even that, the kids are actually more willing to help out around the house, whereas before they were, so busy with school and activities and things that go on in their lives. Now they're actually more willing to help out, washing the dishes or loading the dishwasher, vacuuming, cleaning their room. It's not much of a struggle as it used to be, I guess.
Exactly. I think kids also understand. They're very smart people. They understand what's going on and they want to do their bit. Gitanjali ji, I hear you have a son in college and you have another child in the school. What I hear from social media, what I hear from other sources, that they are doing AP online now. No more APs. You have to go hours of tests or exams. They're doing 45 minutes now, and the medical students who they have been preparing their head off for the most difficult test that they have to do, that is also in jeopardy now. They don't know if they're going to have it or not, although they have been preparing. So please tell me some of the challenges, having older kids, or like in high school or middle school or college student, how it is to be at home.
That is actually a situation which I'm dealing with not only at home, but also with my professional, with my work, because I deal with teaching middle and high schoolers. And the first thing that has impacted the high school students is the fact that, at the very, very crucial time of testing, when they were about to have their AP exams in about a month, or even their SATs, everything is in jeopardy right now. So a couple of things which I do notice, one, the children are very worried about how they are going to, how this is going to impact their college admissions. Also, the second thing which I notice is their motivation level, as much as they have online school and they are trying to keep pace with the fact that the AP exams are still there, it's but natural for them to now realize that, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be taken at home. They don't know how the format is exactly going to be. So, a lot of their stress is building up from the unknowns that they're facing. So it is something which I see is bothering, the high schoolers the most. And I hope with time, certain things will clear up for them, because this is not a very good situation for them to be in.
Totally agree, 100%. Vandana ji, you have the same situation. You have a college student and the high schoolers in your home. So tell me, what is your take on this?
Yeah, I think just like Gitanjali was saying, definitely there are challenges for the kids, especially if they are at sort of those crucial ages where they have SATs or they have specific exams that they're working towards. But beyond that, I think there's also the stress of, being home, having a lot of unknown and not being able to see their friends, not able to have some of that stress release that they normally do on a day-to-day basis. And then I think personally for myself as a mom of, teenagers, I think, a challenge for us is really making sure that they're taking the time to take care of themselves, so they have some sort of a structure. They're not spending too much time on phones. They're getting some exercise, getting some outdoor time, and making sure that, we're not completely focused only on education and studies, and that we're taking time to really connect with the kids and understand, sort of their anxieties and their stresses that they're feeling right now. So I think those are all important. And, at this point, I personally, I do what I can do. And then I try to say, well, I just need to, be a good role model and do the things which I would like them to do and encourage them to do as well, to make sure that, they're taking care of themselves and their well-being.
That's right, Vandana ji. As a parents, our role never ends, right? So, Neeta ji, can you please share with us that, what are the things that your kids are missing the most?
I think they're actually missing school. The online learning right now is as great of a job as the teachers do. I think they really miss that one-on-one interaction that they have with their teachers, whether it's learning or just even the conversations that they have with their teachers. They miss their friends at school, but they miss even hanging out with our social friends that they have, or their cousins and things like that they haven't been able to see. I think it's that other social interaction that they're really missing.
Right. This whole social distancing is not really working in their favor because kids are naughty with their nature. So what is your opinion, Neetaji, that the social media is like endless coronavirus, everywhere you go, everyone you talk to is like coronavirus. This is how the sentence starts with. What do you think? All this coverage is making you or your kids stressful?
I do feel like a lot of the social media doesn't help with the stress of this. When I'm home, I was telling my husband this the other day, I said, when I'm home, my stress level comes down a little bit because I try not to go on my phone as much. I try to just disconnect from everything once I'm home. But once I go to work, or if we're doing our chats with our family and friends and things like that, that's all everybody is talking about right now, and it heightens up that stress. You do have to be aware of things, but I think the social media just adds on to the stress level, at least for me, I feel. Even for our kids,
right.
My younger one doesn't understand it as much. She knows what it is and everything, but the stress doesn't hit her. I think that for my teenager, she feels a little bit more stressed with it. She goes on and she checks articles and she reads things and things like that. So I think she's a little bit more afraid than my younger one.
Right.
The social media definitely adds the stress for all ages.
Right. Vandana ji, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely the social media and just news in general, I think has its place. We need to know what's happening in the world, but I think we do need to control how much we consume of it, because it does have a negative effect sort of on our mental health, and just we getting extremely stressed about thinking about everybody who's dealing with it. So I think it's important to kind of disconnect from it and really try to connect with people, either on the phone or a video call, and not only on social media or not only on chatting, to really have actual conversations. So I'm again, we're very lucky. We live in this day and age that, we have so much technology. So even though the kids are home and we're home, we can FaceTime, we can WhatsApp, video call our parents in India. We can talk to them. We can, really connect. So, again, we are lucky and very privileged, at least, that we have all that, and we can connect and not only look at negative media and content.
That's right. What a positive way to take out some positive from all this negativity. सारी दुनिया हमारे आँख के सामने है इस समय सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू. गीतांजलि जी, आप बताइए, आपका क्या टेक है इस सब्जेक्ट पे?
Regarding social media, I actually have two viewpoints. One, I do feel that, of course, we shouldn't be getting our news from social media. That's not the source I would trust. So regarding news, I would definitely, watch news from a, news channel, and that is what I would do, because there are several videos which float around. But social media, I think, has really helped my kids cope during this time, because that is their only source of being in touch with their friends. So, and I don't think if they would not have had that, I would have seen, two very depressed and glum kids in the house, because they are not able to meet their friends. So I feel that, that has just completely, at least, not cut them off from the world. and there are video options. They sit on group chats together, and in fact one of my daughter's friend had a birthday party the other day, and there were 30 of them invited, and they all virtually celebrated together. So it has kept them cheerful through these hard times. But yes, I would never trust that for my source of news, because we have better sources which we should be looking at, and that's how I look at it.
That's right. So बातें आप लोगों से करके अच्छा बहुत लग रहा है, लेकिन टाइम की लिमिटेशन भी है. तो मेरा एक लास्ट आखिरी सवाल ये है गीतांजलि जी आपसे कि वो एक टिप क्या है जो आप देना चाहती हैं और लोगों को, अपने कम्युनिटी को या अपने सराउंडिंग्स को, वो या आप ऐसा कोई एक खुद टिप चाहती हैं खुद के लिए? What would be that one tip?
Yeah, one tip I definitely would say is that, we really need to be disciplined about not stepping out of the house, because even when I, look outside, I do still see cars on the road, and I know there must be errands to be run, but we have to minimize that. And this other thing, tip I would say is that, let's use this time to, not actually socially distance. Socially, probably we're becoming closer, physically distance from other people, but socially, again, bond, within the family, and use our, virtual FaceTime or WhatsApp or whatever to, socially connect, which we haven't had the time to do for a long time. And also teach our own children at home certain life lessons now about adaptability and how, how to be prepared for any kind of situation, which our children, having, lived such sheltered lives, have never encountered. So I think these are very important life lessons which all of us are learning from, and I am too.
That's correct. We all are on the same boat, as I said. So, Vandana ji, आप बताइए कि what would be that one tip that you want to give to others, or there will be one tip that you want the suggestion?
I think for me, I would say really to try to stay positive. It's easy to get caught up in negativity and stress and anxiety. So I think really I would say, take time to go for a walk or just sit outside for some time, get some fresh air, get some sunlight. And when you feel like you're getting stressed out, I think the best thing to do is say, well, maybe there's somebody I can help, or is there something I can do to, make some contribution here? I know we have so many organizations that are, either through fundraising or through donating masks or dropping foods, all kinds of things that are out there that I think we can get involved in. So I feel like when we feel like we are helpless, I think that's the time to say, okay, there must be something I can do to help the situation.
Nicely said, Vandana ji. I 100% agree with you. Neeta ji, last question for you. What would be that one tip that you want to give it to others, or that would be one tip that you want for yourself as a suggestion from others?
Well, I think the ladies before me have said a lot of the things that I really believe. One is social distancing. I know that the people have errands outside, that they have to step out and get groceries and get things. But even when you're out getting things, please just remember to keep that social distancing, even within the stores. I still see when I'm out and about people that are not giving the other person space. So just even within that, I think it's important for people to just be mindful to keep that, 3 to 6 feet of distance between each other, even when we're out and about, because it does make a difference. And just washing your hands. I think right now for me, that's the biggest thing that I can't stress to people enough, especially people with children, younger children, when they're going out, because they don't realize how important it is. And just being positive. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and just, keeping that positivity alive is important.
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने नीता जी. अभी पिछले दिनों किसी ने मुझसे पूछा कि how you doing, and I said we haven't killed each other, but that is just to laugh and bring a smile. Jokes apart, we are really reconnecting, and we have more time to spend with each other. So बात करके आप लोगों से बहुत अच्छा लगा. Don't really want to let you guys go, but time की limitations हैं. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time. And And I wish from Atlanta Dunia team that everyone stays strong and healthy in this space of the, ongoing global health crisis. So you all do good.
Yeah. Thanks, Shweta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.